video, you will learn a set of chord exercises by Abel Carlevaro that will definitely help you develop your right hand control. But not only that, they are also amazing for practicing voice separation within chords. So grab your guitar and let's get started. In his books, Carlevaro often emphasizes that these exercises are to be practiced in a very slow tempo so that you can always control the movement of your fingers. These chord exercises are done without any arpeggiation, and special care is always given to the fingers that are changing strings within the pattern. Carlevaro's philosophy is that each hand is to be worked on separately, but that doesn't mean that, for instance, for this exercise that is for the right hand, that we're going to play it on open strings. We are going to use the left hand, but the left hand is only going to be pressing a diminished seventh chord. We're starting in the first position and then changing the position across the fretboard. So let's start. The first exercise is for separation of the A finger, of the ring finger. So let's first play the notes that you are going to be playing with the A finger separately. So we have C and F sharp. And now let's try to do that within the full chord. Obviously, with the ring finger playing the melody, it's going to be easier because the ring finger is always playing the highest note, so we are going to be able to hear these notes quite clearly. Let's do the full chord. So practice this in a very slow tempo, keeping in mind that you search for the best sound possible, always, which can sometimes be tricky with the A finger on the first string and with the first string in general, and also keep it in a slow tempo to be sure that you are plucking all of the strings at the same time. No arpeggiation. In the next exercise, we're going to be separating the middle finger, the M finger. So this is the line that we are looking for to hear when we're playing the full chords. The notes C and A. And now we're going to try it with the full chords. Now this one is much trickier because we're trying to separate the middle voice and we still have the melody voice, the highest voice on top of it, right? You'll always hear this. What you need to do here, some people say that you need to press more on the string that you're trying to separate, that you need to change the angle of the hand, and you can try all of that out, but what I like to use is really to think about that finger a lot. So to use, like as you would in the gym, the mind-muscle connection. Here it's the mind to finger connection. So to really try and separate and feel the movement only of that M finger. It doesn't matter that the others are also employed, playing the full chords, but you're really concentrating here in this case on this M finger and trying to separate it. in your mind. Also, singing along would help, of course, and playing this line before separately and before you play the chords. So really hearing the notes that you later need to hear within the chords itself. Also, what I'm consciously doing is also trying to play as soft as I can here with the A finger in this case. The next one is going to be the separation of the index finger, of the I finger. And this is going to be somewhat easier than the M. Why? Because the index finger is much more independent as the finger in our anatomy than M is from A. Okay, these two, the M and A, always like go together. The index finger is more independent. Therefore, this I think is going to be a bit less tricky for you than the separation of the M finger. Now we're looking for hearing these notes. What is tricky here is that these notes are very deep, right? And we still have the higher notes on top. So let's try it in the chord. Also, if you have old or worn out strings, this can be tricky because we're trying to bring out the fourth string, but do the best that you can. And the last one is going to be, as Carlevaro calls it, the displacement of ring and middle fingers. So we are looking for this. Now together with the chords. To practice these exercises very slowly and very concentrated, and as Carlevaro always says, throughout the whole fretboard. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and leave a comment on which variation of these was easiest for you. We'll see you in the next one.